We're building a country-sized economy on the basis of free, of giving things away free to consumers. This is an economy based on a price of $0.00. Never in human history have we seen a country-sized economy where the underlying driving force was not monetary, but instead non-monetary forces, reputation, attention, etc. And yet this economy is making plenty of people rich and providing healthy revenue flows for lots of companies. So this paradox of an economy built on free that is nevertheless one that you can make money in is the central question of the book. There's basically four kinds of free. Some of them are old forms of free that we've modified into a new age, and some of them are entirely new kinds of free. The first form of free is the classic razor and blade subsidy. You give away one thing to sell another. No new form of economics. The underlying cost of manufacturing razors and blades or cell phones and infrastructure, which turns to minutes, is pretty much what it is. But you just move the money around so that one thing feels free and invokes the psychology of free, the sort of compelling price of zero, to sell something else. The second form of free is also hundreds of years old, and that's the media business model. This is where you have three parties. You've got a producer, you've got a consumer, and then you've got a third party, the advertiser, who subsidizes a product so that it's free to the consumer. Radio is free to air. Television is free to air. All of our websites are free. And that's because the money goes like this. That really, the advertiser pays us to make it free to the consumer, and the consumer buys the products from the advertiser, and the money goes back, and the flow goes full circle. The third form of free is a new form that's really only existed in the last 5 years or so, and this is a form that's only possible in digital markets. Now, what's unique about a digital market, as opposed to the other markets that we've talked about, is that the marginal cost, the incremental cost of providing a goods or service to somebody is close to zero. And not only is it close to zero, but it gets closer to zero every day. The fourth form of free is also one that's really sort of come of age in the digital economy. And this is the so-called gift economy. This is a non-monetary economy. Now, we've had gift economies forever. The classic South Pacific Islanders would give each other things because the food grew on the trees and you didn't have scarcity. Your first two levels of the Maslow's hierarchy of needs are completely provided for by nature. And so you could give each other beads for social glue, etc. In businesses, we have huge swaths of the internet are driven by people giving things away. Wikipedia, the blogosphere, all these MySpace, Facebook profiles, etc. They're all basically content created for free and given for free for some other reason. And what is that other reason? These are the non-monetary economies: the reputation, attention, expression. These things turn out to be sufficiently incentivizing for people to do what we used to have to pay them for. So there's still economies in the sense that you're building something of value, but it counts as zero in the monetary economy. And so it is technically free, even though it's still something that's valued. However, for digital products, you do just the opposite. You'll give away 90% of your product to sell 10%. That's why it's called freemium. You give away the free version to charge a tiny fraction of your audience for the premium version. I'll see lots of industries are now taking this. You see it in things like Flickr and Flickr Pro. But the video game industry is moving from one of packaged software, which was a game in a box for $50 in a store, to the online. As the game industry moves online, it starts to become free, which is to say, Second Life. It's free. The game, it's a game, you call it a game. It's free. If you really like it, you might want to buy land. If you buy land, then you become the premium in the freemium equation. And maybe a few percent of the Second Life participants will buy land, but they'll subsidize everybody else because the marginal cost of serving the 90+% who free ride is so low that you can round down to zero. In a competitive market, price falls to the marginal cost, and you realize that everything online is almost required by the laws of economic gravity to fall to zero. So that's kind of frightening. What that says is that everything online will be priced at zero. Now, let me just take a little of the fear out of that sentence. That doesn't mean that everything online will only be priced at zero. It means there will be a free version of everything online. your opportunity, so what that tells every company is that if what you do can be moved online, it will be moved online at the price of zero. Now, you can either compete with zero, which can be done. Microsoft has been competing with open source software for a long time. It can be done. You offer a different product, a superior product, a premium product, etc. Or you can offer your product for zero and sell something else. Also, very doable. That's what we do. We charge for our magazine, but we give it away online and we sell the attention that comes with that. So the winners and losers, every company is going to, in every industry is going to have to compete with free sooner or later. They're either going to become free or they're going to compete with free. The companies that will succeed are going to be the ones who embrace that, who sort of say, well, I'm going to get to free first, and then I'm going to figure out some way to make money around free. So I'll offer, the kind of a premium version, or maybe I'll use advertising, or maybe take open source software in particular. Why do people pay for open source software? Well, it turns out that they want a number they can call who will support them. So what you get with your check is a contract. You get a legal contract, and that means that the guy at the other side of this check is required to help you and to answer the phone. That's worth paying for. Companies want to pay for their software because they want the contractual promise that someone will be there to help them in the end. So you can compete with free. It's very easy to compete with free. You just got to think different.